Anderson. We're gonna get this thing cracking in a minute. Got a couple of things I want to get off my chest. Shout out to Compassion Call Outs. We had a good kind of a little back and forth conversation as far as some future stuff. So stay tuned on that. Another thing I wanted to do is while y'all are getting in here, I wanted to. I was talking about the paternity fraud thing, and the very thing that actually went. The reason why I went live on, my dumbass forgot to really communicate, which you would think that's important, right? So I'm about to do that right now. So basically, I was talking about, hold on one second. I was talking about, paternity fraud, and I was talking about, the woman said that basically, the woman had said, I don't know how you can disconnect from the child that you raised and all that jazz. And she was on the one hand saying that she empathizes, which by the way she didn't. You can kind of tell by the words she was using that she was giving lip service to empathy, but she didn't really empathize. And even though she was being nice about it, it's like, look, again, you got on the internet and you made a video about paternity fraud, and you talking about basically what about the fucking baby, which tells me you haven't really, you don't. It really just goes to show you, again, people keep trying to act like women are naturally moral, or they're naturally like how men are logical, women are emotional. So we have this thing where it's almost like women are just naturally more moral than men, which that's one of the greatest lies that has ever been told. Even fucking Adam and Eve, there's a lot of the Abrahamic religions and even other religions will tell you that that's bullshit. That's one of the first things in the fucking stories. Samson and Delilah. So it's a lot of stories in the Bible for people that want to claim Christianity, by the way. Because we got a lot of folks that claim that shit, but they don't own that shit. It basically tells you and warns you about the deception of women. But again, a lot of what you see is anti-feminism. But getting back to this point, because I want to harness this point. She was basically saying she did not understand why a man can just disconnect from a kid. Not necessarily just like that, but why a woman is capable of disconnecting from a kid and trying to lay the guilt on thick and shit like that. That's what she was saying she didn't understand. Right. And it's very simple. It's a very simple answer. Men do not bond the children like women do. Women can, one word, postpartum. Women chemically bond the children. And there is a reason why women chemically bond to children. This is again why I said that women secrete that bond hormone. And that is something that women secrete. Men don't really secrete it like that. That is something women do secrete. I'm still here. Give me a second. This is gonna buffer again. Just, yeah, be prepped. All right, so like I was saying, you know, women's, and a lot of women's hormonal shit is very underused as far as their behavior until it's time to get them out of a jam, meaning, you know, they want to blame something on postpartum or mental illness. I need you to understand that I don't give a, I'm just going to tell you straight up, men, like if you don't disclose that you have these problems up front, I don't give a damn about what mental issues you have. If you're special, then I need you don't need to be in a relationship. I'm just gonna say that. You don't get to have mental problems and then, like, to the point where you need medication and shit and think you're just gonna charge bad behavior off to that. I don't get to slap a bitch and then say, oh, I'm this or I'm that. Men don't get, like, men, there's no scenario when men get to use mental illness as a reason for our behavior, no matter what. We don't get to, no matter what it is, how big, how small, we do not get to use mental illness as an issue with our behavior. And women don't get, like, you're a fucking adult, act like it. And if you don't need to be in a relationship. The end. That's why I hold men accountable to, if you knowingly deal with a woman that has mental problems, don't bitch to me about being on the wrong side of those mental issues. Because you pretty much know what you get. And this is why when people say crazy women is the best pussy, I know all of them say that. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, you wouldn't fuck the bitch if you knew she had an STD and charge it to that. If you knew that bitch had gonorrhea, you would not fuck that bitch talk about crazy pussy is good pussy. So basically, you're dealing with basically mentally transmitted diseases that can affect your quality of life when you fucking deal with shit like that. And I get it, some shit you just gotta exercise. Everything ain't for you. And if you can't control that situation, then you just open yourself up to what you open yourself up. But my point is, getting to my point, this idea that women chemically bond to their kids. They don't psychologically bond to their kids. They chemically bond to their kids, especially after they have this. This is why they want to talk about postpartum now. See, a lot of times in this space, we like to take what they say because they got to be accountable for what comes out of their mouth. Now they got to come. This is why women like to speak in the language of ambiguity, because they don't like to commit to anything. Because now what they commit to it, they got to own it and they got to stand on it. And a lot of women don't stand on shit because they can feel something today and then feel something tomorrow. And so anyway, so I'm sitting here. So again, women chemically bond to when kids, and then that shit evolves into a psychological bond that's based on a hormonal bond. Men do not bond that way. Men do not bond with children that way. Men have a different bond with children. It is a psychological one. It is a psychological bond. And when the foundation of that psychology is broken, aka you believe your children are yours, then all bets are off. That's like creating a foundation on sand. That house is gonna fall. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's that simple. And the problem is that the child is a reminder of the lie. Now I know people that have done this. I know people. I've told the story of my friend that I haven't talked about in a long time, but he was like one of my best friends in high school. Well, really in middle school. I'm talking about a next door neighbor. Dude literally lived next door. And basically he was with a white chick. Like I said, we hold the correct people accountable. I don't just throw shit. He was with a white chick. Dude dated white women, only dated one black woman, dated one white woman, supposedly got a white chick pregnant, and it was weird because it's like, damn, nigga, you got this bitch pregnant as soon as you went to Camp Pendleton, so you joined the Marines, and then you fucked the first bitch you dealt with, and this is a dude, by the way, this is a dude that white bitches love this nigga. This is a dude that black bitches love this nigga. This nigga, this is not a dude that couldn't get hoes. But he wasn't really out there like that, because this was a true blue Christian. Like, he really lived that shit. In fact, his friend, which was my friend, but it was more his, but they were more closer in friendship than I was, although we were good friends as well. He ended up being a pastor. And he's one of these guys, we knew he was going to be a pastor from the start. And he wasn't like weird or nothing like that, in that way, but still, I mean, it was pretty much, that's what he was groomed to be, blah, blah, blah. And that's what he ended up being, and he's a good one. He's actually a good pastor. And no, he's not one of these simp ones either. I could throw out names, but I'm not going to do that. That being said, this, so yeah, he dated, like, the dude I'm talking about, he dated like normal people and shit like that. But he wasn't just running through hoes like that. Although he could definitely get them. And so my point is, he ended up going to Camp Pendleton, getting a Marine, go to San Diego, and basically got a chick pregnant, supposedly. I remember taking him to his mom's house, and she blew the fucking roof off with her voice. This is a mild-mannered black female. They never get loud. Oh, she wilded out. Because she thought it was a phase. She thought he'd get through it. This is her only son. She had 2 daughters, an older one and a younger one. Older than him and a younger than him. And I guess, whatever. And he still date white chicks. But at the end of the day, it turned out like 7 years later that wasn't his kid. I'm sorry, that now he better than me. He talk about what the Christian thing is. I told him, I said, nigga, you know what I would do, but I'm not about to tell you what I would do because you already know. So you're not about to put that on me. You know what you want to do, and look, I'm not about to tell you what's the right move. But you know what I would do. And so he did what he wanted to do, which, he basically is still in that kid's life. He's still in that kid's life. Now, me straight up, that's an ain't shit white bitch. That's an ain't shit white bitch. She knew she couldn't pull that move on a white dude because of the kid. And it's like, and that kid looks, phenotypically, he's got that Italian look, phenotypically. So he's not feeling, and that's why I'm thinking about it now, looking back, and I'm like, he looks Italian. Actually, I know kids that look like that are with black, yeah. So he don't phenotypically look like this dude at all, So it's like, but anyway, and I forget it. I don't even think he got the paternity test either. I think something happened where it just came out that that's what it was. And my thing is, me personally, is like, yo, that was God blessing you, because real talk, you can now start a family and not be burdened with that shit. But whatever, he chose to do what he chose to do because his Christianity was his psychological foundation. This is the point of me telling this story. His foundation was in his religion, and it wasn't just some shit. It's like, this nigga comes from a generation of Marines, discipline, Christ. He like that. Everything he does, speaks, act. He was like that for real. He's pretty much an Orthodox Christian. The closest thing Dr. Dunbar would be proud. And at the end of the day, that's why he was able to do that, because he had a strong foundation. Stepfathers know what the deal is, so they're able to be in those kids' life because they know what it is up front. And so, if you don't have something strong like that, like really powerful like that, to push you past something like that, and then you're compelled to want to do that for your own reasons, then yeah, most dudes are going to leave because of the betrayal and all of that. And there's no way you can, like, and so if you create, it's like the best way to compare it, I guess, because unlike y'all, I got empathy, is if a woman genuinely didn't know a dude was a homosexual and she gets into a relationship, she gets married, and then she finds out that he's gay. Now, I personally don't believe that women don't know that these niggas are gay. I believe that's a lie. I believe that's just a lie that women use to save face. Just like when white women say a black man sexually assaulted them in order to save face. And I don't know where we got in this culture where people struggle to believe that women lie. That's a big reason why it's hard to believe women, because women lie. And you got all these niggas talking about we gotta believe women problem. No, we got a lying bitch problem. Dudes would be more apt to believe women if they knew there was real consequences that women are gonna have to endure for lying. Women don't endure consequences for lying, so there's no disincentive for women to lie, which is why men don't typically believe them. It's not because they're women, it's because they're fucking liars. And I don't understand. Like, it's like, nigga, the bitch, if the bitch breathes, she's lying. Women don't believe in telling the truth. Their survival instinct is predicated on them not really. Women don't believe in honor and truth. And if they do, it's because they were raised by their father, generally exclusively. Because that's something they get from a man. They don't get that from a woman. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And any man that don't believe that, motherfucker, you huff like paint. Shut the fuck up. You don't know shit. But like I said, men have a psychological bond to children. We don't. Shout out to Ron Wills, because Ron Wills talked about this when it comes to the psychological imprint. Years ago. Men imprint on the thing psychologically. We don't have a chemical hormone. You know why we don't have a chemical hormone? Because how would your body know to produce a chemical hormone? Women can produce that hormone because the child is in them, gestating, whatever you want to call it. And so, again, a lot of these women want to be educated. That's exactly what I would tell her. And I would say so lies, actually, I know you don't believe in me. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I'm telling you this. That's you telling me this is like me telling you should still be with that man because you committed to that man. You gave oaths to that man. So even though he's gay, that wasn't a problem. Like, what is she gonna say? But he lied. The foundation of who he is wrong. That's what she's gonna say. This is how you know they don't believe in their own bullshit. They'll talk about like this. There is no great. Look, the sleeping with another person is not even the issue. You slept with another man. You let another man blast in your ass. You carry that man's kid, and then you lie every day because I don't believe women don't know. They know. They never put babies on ain't shit niggas. Do you notice that? It ain't never a nigga that ain't shit. It ain't never a nigga that's broke. It ain't never a nigga that's a loser. Maybe she like how he look, but everything else is trash. Those niggas are never the father. It's always the niggas that would make a great stepdad. A nigga that's gonna be there. A nigga that's depends. Always them niggas. This is way worse. Men don't take cheating well. This is what she doesn't understand. This is everything a man fears. The reason why men have a cultural and like instinct. Like the reason why men don't handle cheating well. The reason why men don't handle cheating well is because of this shit. This is the thing that men instinctually fear. Essentially, what you're telling a man is you're telling a man that everything, he doesn't work for a bitch. He works and does all this stuff to have sex with a woman, to have children who pass on his genetics. Every reason of him being alive, you fuck up because you wanted some dick and couldn't own the nigga you slept with. And the truth is, women cannot really understand this because women don't have this problem, which is why women are not even really qualified to even argue against this. Women could say, well, you can't say that with sexual assault because, no, men can be sexually assaulted by other men. It happens in prison all the time. So men can definitely get there. Because quiet as it's kept, every nigga ain't 6 foot, 250 pounds. That's why dudes joke about it. Is it more common with women? Sure. But it's not impossible. With this, it is impossible for a woman to go through this. It is biologically impossible. And so when you hear women like try to make excuses to argue the shit, y'all should have seen that video that I shared with Andrew Wilson, because I feel bad. Y'all sound stupid. And if I was on a whatever show, I would say the paternity question is like, if there's ever a conversation where women need to learn to just shut the fuck up and not talk, it is that question. If you don't agree, whatever you feel, if you disagree with it, if you don't agree with it, it's wrong. It's not right. It's actually it's like it's actually in a you know how in lie detector tests, how they do, so they have you tell a lie so they can have your readings. They can have your readings so they know when you're lying, because they have you tell, you know, an obvious lie. That's what they do in lie detector tests, for those of y'all that don't know. This is your reading. If you feel, there is no way for you to, none of you all are intelligent enough, and there is no way for you all to argue out of this. You can't argue out of this. There's no way for you to argue that a man does not have a right to know if a child is his or not. There's no way. This is not a man. This is, y'all act like this is a woman. This is like a woman asking a man to check his phone. And y'all will ask that, or y'all will see, and again, this is not that. This isn't his phone. This is our child. So I need to verify if my part of that hour is in there. Because the nigga needs to know if he needs to go ahead and create some more kids somewhere else. And the problem, and this is what's so funny, this is the irony of it, that I love it. I love it so much. This is the beautiful thing about this issue, why it's so devastating. It's a nuclear bomb. This mainly affects blue pill niggas. Purple pill niggas are on game enough that something like this, they're just red pill enough to where they'll check whether they hear this information or not, because them niggas are not gonna be done like that. The difference between the purple pill and the red pill is, I mean, the purple pill and the blue pill is, the blue pill is, there's a level of delusion in the blue pill that the purple pill doesn't have. It's delusion. Purple pill doesn't have that delusion. Purple pill niggas just lie. That's their thing. They know what the truth is. Purple pill can sometimes be in denial, but typically they're not in denial, they just lie. Red pill, blue pill people, they're in denial, borderline delusion. That's the difference. That's the key difference. So this shit requires, the paternity shit requires a certain level of delusion and denial. At the end of the day, a man, the last thing a man is thinking about is if a bitch is cheating. He doesn't like a bitch is cheating when it comes to this issue. He wants to verify those kids are his. Cheating is not even what he's mad about. Because you have to do so much more than just cheat when it comes to this. You can cheat and have an abortion. You chose to have that kid. And one dude said it very well that I wouldn't have thought of this. Shout out to him, the dude that I shared this video. The dude that was reacting. He said that there's a very small window that a woman actually has to get pregnant. When a woman is ovulating, he said when that egg is released, that egg can only really survive. He said 24 hours. I'm not 100% sure if that's 100% accurate, but I do know it's only a day or two. Sperm can't survive very long. There is, you know, a window that one has. And so you're getting pregnant in a specific window. What he was alluding to is this is very intentional. This is very intentional. This is not, and we can debate how intentional. I just think this is just a hoeing. And this is what I always say. If you don't know who the father of your kids is, you a hoe, because that means you lost track of your pussy. Meaning you're fucking so much that you just lost track of your pussy. Which means regardless of body count, that's how you know you're dealing with a hoe. Oh, how many bodies do you need? Well, that's up to you. I have my number, but that's up to you. But if you lose track of where your pussy's been, then yes, you're a hoe. That's my general rule. So if you don't know, and I've yet to have a woman be able to challenge that. I would love for a woman to say that if you don't know, either you're lying about not knowing who the father or the child is, which is now what I'm starting to believe is why they don't say that. Why they don't challenge it. Because I'm starting to believe they do know. I'm starting to believe they do know. Like, they generally do know. It's very rare they just don't know. Because if you're cheating while you're pregnant, you could only be, you're generally, pregnant 3 or 4 months before you start showing? And I mean, you gotta be a real slutty ass bitch to do that. And so my point is, the very men that actually want to be good men, that want to do the Travis Hunters of the world, Travis Hunter is officially the mascot of all blue pill niggas. The Travis Hunters of the world, they want to do the right thing. They want to say, fuck the men, I believe in you. These are the men that are targeted for this shit. And so when you understand that, you understand how really manipulative and deceptive and disingenuous somebody has to be when they try to be nice about it. That's why I've always told you, just because a black woman is being nice about it and they have a soft tone, or they try to say demure tone, that doesn't mean she ain't saying some evil ass shit. I almost, like, just because you say, it's actually almost more insidious. It's like Darth Sidious when he was Senator Palpatine. He sound really good until he got what he wanted. It really is, man. And so I just wanted to that wasn't the main reason I even want to go on live. But I wanted to answer that. I wanted to answer that shit. You know, first. That took way too long to answer that shit, to be honest with you. We went all around the world. But the other thing, the main thing I wanted to talk about, and we're doing a hard stop at 30 minutes. Okay. So to switch to this next topic is the title. So enforcement versus accountability. So I was looking at a reel where a dude was basically giving the take of he was basically giving a take that I've said before about women want men to hold other men accountable, yet you sleep with the men that are quote unquote supposed to be held accountable. And he was basically saying, this is a younger dude, you can't hold men accountable if you're gonna sleep with them. And I agree with this. I've said this. And then I thought about it. I said, so what are they actually talking about? And kudos to him, because he kind of helped me inspire this. He didn't say this, but kind of the way he was talking inspired this thought. And I said, yeah, they don't want accountability. They want enforcement. Hit the Cash App if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Hit the Cash App if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Drop a super chat. Hit a like. Likes are free. I should always have almost as many likes as I do viewers. Appreciate that. Especially when I title a video. Because some of y'all don't like that I do Edward Anderson's live. Y'all be like, so if I title it, y'all should definitely hit the likes. That way you can let me know you prefer me titling the videos. It's not accountability, it's enforcement. It's enforcement. What is the one thing that men can do that women can't do? Is enforce shit. See, women can hold men accountable by not sleeping with them as a group. This is one of those things that requires a group effort, because individually a dude can find another chick. But if collectively, if women don't want a certain trait in men, and collectively they don't want that, then niggas will change. If women all of a sudden said beards are lame, niggas will lose their beard. They'll drop down to a goatee. Remember, niggas didn't have beards once upon a time, because a lot of women didn't like facial hair like that. And then 9/11 happened, all you niggas all of a sudden wanted beards over time. Don't think I didn't pick up on where that came from. All of a sudden, you niggas wanted beards, including white dudes. That's what I noticed. So, I thought about it for a hot second, and then I had the light bulb moment. They don't want accountability, they want enforcement. They want enforcement. That's what they want. Because that's what men can do. And why is that different? That's different because they essentially want you. I mean, we've had these terms, the mandingo, not mandingo, but the you know what I'm talking about. I forget. Y'all put in the angry man terms, the terms that come from his camp. You know what I'm talking about. You know these terms. The simp enforcers. Not just dice, but like the actual, dudes that simp enforcers that be enforcing this bullshit. They want enforcers. And what they want is, it's like the Matrix, where the entire society, just like, let's say a man puts his hands on a woman, and all dudes out of nowhere just all descend on a man. Oh, you can't do that. That's our favorite, blah, 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 blah. They want men to do that for shit outside of just that. They want, at any point, to be able to call men at any point at will onto black men. You know how I know this is true? Because when you heard like that clubhouse that has been going around where black women were talking about trying to get white men to harm black men, talking about there's no hope and all this other stuff, and the white dude is really just gaslighting these chicks. The white dude is really entertaining himself, regardless of what part of the political spectrum he comes from, how he feels about black men. This is some fascinating shit that that men could hate women, could your own women can hate you that much. Which, by the way, white men don't respect that, because they believe if you do that to them, to your own men, you'll do that to them eventually. And so you have, so again, these women want at any point to be able to call men at will, like in real time, in person, like any random dude, to hold another nigga accountable because she don't like how that dude is moving. This is how they think. And they really the low-key told on themselves with a lot of different shit. So when you hear that accountability, that's why they don't explain it. That's what they mean. Because here's the thing. If they gotta explain something, now they gotta own what they say. Which means if what they say is crazy, now they're a bad person. And so again, they always speak in ambiguity, or they try to shame. I was just listening to TikTok live before I went live. Got a bitch talk about, like, the topic was, should women only date for money? And I'm like, women can date for what they fuck they want to, but just understand there's gonna be shit that comes with that. You're dealing with certain type of niggas, like when you date for money, you're generally dealing with niggas that have an accounting on what they're spending, which means they want something for what they're spending. That, like, all these blue pill niggas is just throw these fucking Travis Hunter / Russell Wilson types. It's not a lot of those niggas. And most of you hoes don't look good enough to propagate that bullshit. Propagate that bullshit. That's why, like, it was like just the level of cap that these chicks get on here doing. And that's what you gotta understand. Like, dudes cap too, but women will just tell a whole fairy tale that's not true. They will literally make up a story and argue against that story. Oh, I only date men for this. I'm like, bitch, I can tell you that's bullshit because you trying to convince me. I only date men for money. And men only want control. And men want this, and men want that. And as soon as you hear a bitch talk about control, they already done outed them. As soon as you hear a bitch, when you hear a bitch talk about control, essentially what she's talking about is leverage. Women don't want men to have leverage. That's what they're talking about. And generally when you hear women talking that shit, they are usually in situations where a man always has leverage over them. That could be for a couple of reasons. One, if they're dealing with high-level men, which usually is not this case, because if you can get one high-level dude, you can get another one if you look good enough to do that. So generally, those women are not really saying that as much. But if you're a chick that you really don't look good like that, or maybe you got a fat ass but your face ain't all that, then yeah. You're gonna always be bitching. That's why you find it's always ugly hoes bitching about control. It's always ugly. The bitches sound big. This is why when you hear a bitch speaking, it's like, yo, it is more important for men to see what you look like. Because if you bitches are like 5s and under, or 6s and under, yeah, you're bitching about control because bitch, you're ugly. That's an ugly girl argument. That's a low-key way of you saying you don't have pretty privilege. So what you do is you try to reverse it and saying all men are controlling. No, all men are not controlling. You're in situations where you never have the leverage. Because women that actually look decent can just leave and get another nigga. You never heard Beyonce talk. You never heard Beyonce really talk about control in her songs, controlling, because that wasn't her problem. So again, that's a tell. When you hear a woman always bitching about men trying to control them, that's a man that basically say, bitch, you don't look good enough, or you don't have the prerequisites to, I don't have to tolerate most of your shit. Cause shit, honestly, I'm just here like I'm not trying to fuck this hoe. This hoe can barely suck my dick. Like those bitches. Those hoes you can just take a leave. You don't care. And they perceive that as control. No, it's not control. It's that you're replaceable. And very easy. Easily so. And you try to make that sound like control so you can be a victim. So when you hear these women squawking about that bullshit, just understand that if they was really getting niggas like dudes like that, then they would have the leverage in that way. So control wouldn't be their issue. You don't never hear no 7 and above talk about control unless they dealing with niggas that's got real bread. And why? Because niggas with real bread, like lifestyle bread, now it's something that these women want that man don't have to give. That you only hear women talk about control where a man has something that they can't readily get from another man. They can get dick from another man easy. They may not be able to get good dick, but they can get dick. But it gets to a certain level when it comes to money that they can't get. You don't believe me? Definitely join 50 Cent. 50 Cent was controlling, and 50 Cent was just like Diddy. The type of money she was asking for, $10,000 a month, and you still somehow broke. Most niggas are not giving you that. Even niggas that got bread are not just coughing that kind of money up. Do you understand? Like, if you asking for more than $10,000 a month, if you go put that on autopilot, banks check why you're moving that kind of money. Once you're moving like 10,000 or up, that means shit is hitting certain Richter bank notifications. A lot of people don't realize that. And obviously that's not the only money you're asking for. So once you start asking for money like that, oh, that's not a lot of money, whatever. The point is the banks think so. It's enough that you might be trying to play with your taxes, so they track it. So once you start asking for shit like that, that ain't no small shit. So once you start talking about lifestyle money, oh no. Yeah, you can't get that from every nigga because every nigga ain't got it like that. So yeah, you're gonna have to do shit for this money. Oh, that's controlling. Look, let's be honest. Cassie's an attractive female. I'm not saying Cassie ain't a victim, but a big reason why Cassie didn't leave Diddy is because Cassie couldn't replace that lifestyle. Even them other niggas like Kid Cudi and all of them was not gonna put money. Michael B. Jordan was not gonna pay her like Diddy was. Somebody, apparently, there was females that was clowning Young Miami, saying the way she was dressing, it's clear she ain't got that Diddy money. My thing is, what the fuck did you do with it? Like, you really telling me that you spent $3 million? You're really telling me you spent $3 million that he gave you? I think she was with him like a year. Young Miami is not an ugly chick. She isn't. She is not an ugly chick. The problem is she's just dumb as hell. And now it's like, God knows what Diddy did with her. So niggas don't really want to be associated with her like that. another thought that I thought about too that's gonna be heavily controversial, but I'm gonna put it on the back. I'm putting it on the back of this video because of that. BGS said one of the reasons why they raised the age of consent to 18 was to get these women out of high school, these girls or females out of high school. I'm not here to say that that's wrong. I agree it should be 18. We should have it should be a national law that it's 18. Just so it's simple. But I was talking to somebody. I ended up talking to this young dude. He's like 19 years old, right? And he's going to the military, all good stuff. He's the middle child. His mom has 6 kids. She was a Marine too. Good dude, well raised, looks like, on point. Good job. His mom is 40. His oldest, he's 19. His oldest brother is 25. If she's 40, that means she started having kids when she was 15 years old. And she got 6 kids. I don't know. I didn't ask her with different people, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. But I do know that this dude pretty much, was on point. This young dude. And if he's going straight to the military at 19, he said his mom, now he keeps talking about his mom. So, you can already read into that. But, I had a thought that's like, wow, maybe a big reason why a lot of the demographics is not right, people are not having kids, is because these women are having kids later and later and later. And now that's kind of hit a critical mass. Because let's keep it real, it's very difficult unless you start like you gotta really think about it. That's 6 kids. That's basically she had a 10-year window. She was having these kids back to back to back to back. That's just food for thought. Shout out to J Bay with the $10. Much appreciated for sponsoring the video. It is. She got $250,000 a month, which is $3 million. No, she's not 50. She's 40. 40. 40. 2 years older than me. 40, not 50, 40. And I had them repeated just to be clear. Yeah, but the problem is Young Miami, what is she blowing it on? If she's paying him to her, like, you got to understand, there's money in even being in the orbit. Remember, now I don't know if she, here's about giving her, like, had her doing that Revolt show and shit like that. All of that was probably lumped into that 250. I would have lumped all that into it. Like, bitch, you an employee. Eric Hormark with the $5, appreciate it. People are not having a lot of kids, mostly. Hold on. People not having a lot of kids mostly because they cost too bloody much. Nearly everything in the U.S. is transactional. No, I understand that. And I even applauded her for having that many kids. I said, you're doing your civic duty. And he was a dark-skinned dude, so she having black kids. So, yeah, I said, you ain't got a lot of that. But if that's true, I don't know how that worked. I don't know. I mean, okay. I mean, sometimes people got to do what they got to do. But these, like, labels that people give, producer and shit like that, at the end of the day, you got a lot of non-producers having kids. So I mean, you know, I mean, okay. I mean, I'm not even saying you're necessarily wrong, but okay. It's kind of like people want to label somebody something. Okay? I'm not even saying you're wrong, but okay. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. That's on the women. The women ones that are they control who they had kids with. What's up, AB? At the end of the day, was women are willing to have kids with dudes based on how they look and not what they produce. You're supposed to balance that out. Women just basically, and this happened after the crack era. So now these chicks are just out here replicating that bullshit, and men low-key co-sign that on the low by not punishing that by, you know, niggas want to be stepfathers, niggas want, well, not so much anymore. Like, niggas are just dropping kids and letting the women deal with it later. So, I mean, you know, niggas want to validate that, you know, men don't get women pregnant. Women have kids by niggas because they're the ones that control that. So when you say a man got her pregnant, you low-key saying a man you ard her. She knew what she was doing. This is not about taking responsibility off the man, but more responsibility on the woman because it's her body, her choice, right? It ain't about giving a pass. You don't, nigga, like, understand something, nigga. You're in the chat. So this is where I need people to, like, stop. Nigga, you're not a congressman. You're not voting for a policy. Dude, let's be real about, just like how I'm just on here. Some people would say yapping, even though I'm getting money from it. You're in the chat. So I'm not saying you're technically saying what you're saying is incorrect. However, nigga, stop acting like you got enforcement ability. Dudes, they got a kid. If you, nigga, dudes don't care. Like, nigga, like, you're not one vote in like the conglomerate of voting for a policy that's like, so nigga, like, let's keep it real. Like, if a nigga were to have this conversation and he's worked as neighborhood, most of the time, the kid ain't even with him, it's with the female. You be like, nigga, you ain't a producer. Nigga, you liable to get smacked up. It's irrelevant what you're saying, because if a bitch already had his baby, he already got his genetics passed. So that shit don't even matter what you saying. Like, if we gonna really be real about it. No, man, I ain't giving him no pass. I'm not saying you should. But at the end of the day, it ain't, I mean, what you gonna fucking do about it? He's already living his life. Chances are he's not living a great quality of life if there's a situation like that. So Darwinism is holding him accountable. So it's this thing about when niggas gotta shame niggas. If he's this guy and he's not a producer, a woman is not supposed to have his child, nigga. After that, it's like, what are we doing? You shaming him ain't gonna change shit. There's nothing you're gonna say that's gonna make that nigga work harder to be out of that situation. What did I say? Preventative maintenance. Niggas want to do shit after the fact, so it sounds like you doing something, when in actuality, it's inconsequential. That's what I mean when I say the red pill is 360 degrees. Niggas will really be out here. Yeah, man, I'm shaming fathers that's got a job, but they kids are in the hood and not in a good situation. Nigga, they could be, damn, you dumbass. Acting like you about to sit here and like jump 2 lanes. keep it all the way real. Let's keep it all the way real for a second. And I'm not here, this is not be beating up on you, but this is what I mean. Like, niggas be really out here. Like, what about the niggas that ain't got no job? There's a lot of those. What about the niggas that they just keep on seeding motherfuckers? They constantly having kids, and then they just spreading it. They're being a straight up sperm donor. Talk about that shit first before you sitting there trying to judge a nigga that's actually got an honest job. And you know, motherfuckers are not in the greatest neighborhood. For all you know, them motherfuckers could be in a magnet school. This a hood magnet school. You don't know. And my thing is, it's not about giving nobody a pass. Their reality is holding them accountable. So they don't really need like an extra nigga basically judging them for his own fucking ego. And you're talking to somebody that came out of an extremely strong school district. You talk about somebody like the county I'm in, Wake County, look it up. Look it up. I actually talked to a Liberian chick the other day. A Liberian chick that's got kids. Not talked to like I tried to holler at, but I had a conversation with her. She was 33. And I told her she was in another area, and I said, yeah, you might want to bring your ass like over here, because she was trying to go somewhere. I said, you better not go there. You better not go to that county. Man, Red Pill, shut the fuck up. You need to change your name. You're not Red Pill. Because I don't see a lot of awareness in what you're talking about. Nigga, are you African American? Because this sound more patriarchal than generally African Americans sound. You said, somebody said, like, are you African American? Or are you from the UK? Are you not? I'm getting non-FBA. This sounds very patriarchal. And that's not a bad thing, by the way. But most African Americans are not that patriarchal. What state are you at, and what are you African American? What ethnicity are we dealing with? That's the next thing. I'm just asking. I'm not saying I've already said, I'm not necessarily saying you're wrong at some of the shit, but a lot of the shit you saying lacks a lot of context to it. So it's very clear you ain't from here based on what you saying. Come on, don't not talk now. You had a lot to say. And by the way, that's a tell too. Because if you was from here, you just say, man, nigga, I'm from Baltimore. Man, nigga, I'm from here. What are you talking about? Now you bad. Okay, what state are we talking about? Now, I don't know why you left. You didn't leave until I asked that question. Like, Tariq, where's your family from? Yeah. What state? The fact you being ambiguous is a tell, nigga. Because here, let me tell you a secret. African Americans don't have a problem. They may not disclose their city. Most of them will, but they'll definitely disclose their state. Because there's no way for me to localize you there. So they're there. So, well, not no way, but you get it. So the fact that you taking a long time says a lot. Okay, are you African American? Yep, are you African American? You can be from here, like what you guys said. Where your parents from? Because I've explained it. I mean, I'm not giving nobody no excuses, but essentially what you saying is, if you not in middle class, you ain't shit. That's essentially what you're saying. And this is America. So either you cooning, because what you're saying completely, it's an immigrant's mentality. It's not a mentality of somebody that actually grew up in our school system that was taught, you was taught enough about racism in the school system, even outside of Jim Crow and all that, to already know. And we don't choose, all we doing is fucking these hoes. These hoes are choosing how these kids, when these kids get born. So you're completely lacking that context. That's not as true with other cultures in the black community. Nigga, yes, you are making these rules. You are making. These are your standards. What you're saying is, if you're not middle or upper middle class, you ain't shit. That's what you're saying. Nigga, you better stop talking ambiguously and answer my fucking questions. Because I've already told you, ambiguous talk is not talked here. If I'm asking you a question, I want a direct fucking answer. Not this, I'm going to give you the minimum I'm going to give you, because understand, your whole speech pattern has changed since I asked this question. Before, you giving all these sentences and shit and being very specific on what you think. Now you just like, well, I don't know now. No, fuck all that. Nigga, you're dodging what the fuck. The next answer you give better be what state you in and what fucking ethnicity are you. That better be the next fucking question. You give me another deflectionary answer, you're gonna be blocked. You're gonna be banned. I'm telling you that right now. So go ahead and do that so I can ban you. Because I'm not playing with you. Because when I ask you a question, I mean it. Nigga, you're not from Chicago. You're lying. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. What part of Chicago? I don't believe you. Because being from Chicago, nigga, you got one of the largest black populations in the United States of America. And if you're actually from Chicago, you know how shit goes down. You know how shit goes down. There's no way you're from Chicago talking like this. There's no way you're from Chicago talking like this. Okay, so answer me this. Give me an actual number. Fuck that middle class shit. Give me how much money you think if a man is a father he should be making. Because if you talk about Chicago public schools, nigga, you essentially talking about private school. Because most of Chicago public schools ain't shit. Like, you know, like, so I want you to give me a number. I lived on Madison Street, nigga. Right by Sears Tower. That's what the literal dividing line between the south side and north side. So I actually know what the costs are. So give me a number. Because, nigga, with property taxes and all, with housing costs today, property tax today, you essentially saying any nigga that make less than 100,000 ain't shit. Which is basically like 85% of black men. That's how I know you bullshit. Hold on, I'll be back. I'm about to go to ChatGPT. So basically, to be in the 1%, you need to make 660,000. To be in the top 1%. To be in the top 20%, you need to make 110,000 in Chicago, Illinois. Which I actually think it's higher than that, but whatever. To be in the top 20%. So if you live in any one of these neighborhoods, these good neighborhoods in Chicago, you're paying property taxes. Or you're paying like HOA fees on top of your mortgage, on top of whatever fucking rent you're paying. It's not cheap to be in Chicago. Chicago's an expensive city. So if you're from Chicago or the Cook County area, you know this. I'm not making excuses for nobody. Then you, as a nigga, you dealing with child support. Then you gotta take care of yourself if you're not in the same household. So again, You like, again, a lot of what you saying lacks a lot of context, and you just trying to make it black and white. And I know you not gonna be telling no nigga that's actually holding this shit down, oh man, your kids in the hood, you ain't shit. Cause that nigga beat your ass. So yeah, that's some shit you gonna be in the chat just saying. Nah, oh yeah, you know, like I said, when them niggas don't want to get specific, you already know what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, but here's the thing, Red Pill. At the end of the day, children being born, I mean, it is what it is. You can believe what the fuck you want to believe, but just understand that this is why the problem don't get solved. Because niggas that want to sit here and say shit like what you saying, they can't enforce shit. Like, at the end of the day, at the end of the fucking day, your opinion matters as much as when I end this video. Ultimately, though, men don't choose when these kids are born, the women do. And do I agree that if a man can't afford to take care of kids, she shouldn't be having kids with a dude? Sure, I agree with that. But what you try to do, shaming a nigga, is just gonna get your ass whooped, which is why you in this chat, you know, saying this shit and not out here really pounding that pavement. Because if a nigga explains the shit that I explained and you just write shit off like, it don't matter, nigga, do better, nigga, you gonna get your ass whooped. And you know that, which is why you gonna get shot. And you know that, which is why you niggas don't talk reckless like that. Y'all don't typically talk reckless like that. You do that shit in the safety of a chat where nobody can know you, see you, and whatever. Because they're going to take it as disrespect and probably slap the shit out you. And I'm not saying that that's what they should do. I'm just telling you what it really is. So I kind of know you just in here talking shit. Nigga, you need like, and because every time I say some stupid shit, you just repeating the same tired ass bullshit. Which means it ain't really about what you actually, that's some shit you believe. Yeah, man, you know, the problem is these men are having all these kids, which What's right, that is a blue pill kind of take on it. Yeah, having these kids, and they need to stop having kids. Well, nigga, they not gonna stop having kids, because these bitches ain't gonna stop fucking. So, nigga, what you gonna do about it other than being some random ass chat saying that shit? You not gonna do shit. You not gonna do shit. You really gonna be out here, man, that man broke. Don't fuck that man. That man's a broke nigga. Don't do that, queen. You can do better. That bitch don't give a fuck. That bitch trying to get that pussy stroked. She don't give a fuck. And if he's stroking good enough, her fucking animalistic tendencies is gonna make her want to have a baby. That's how these chicks are. This is why you don't focus on the men in that way. Because the men don't care. What'd he say? What'd he say? Well, he don't know what blue pill and red pill is, which is how you know. He's this is one of these niggas that what they like to do is they like to come in our spaces and try to infiltrate under the guise of trolling, and they think that in their mind they're trying to vaccine our shit. First of all, 60K is above the median income. Hold on. So first of all, red pill, why don't you actually give me the definition of red pill? Since you want to talk all that shit, give me the definition of red pill, because apparently you don't know. Show me you actually know what the definition of red pill actually is. Number one. Number two, I just looked at it. The percentage if you make 65,000, you're in the top 40. You're in the top 40%. You're in the top 40% in Chicago. So you're saying 60K is broke, but the reality is 60K, you're in the top 40%. So essentially that's what I said. If you're not in like the top 30 or 20%, you're saying that's broke. Nigga, that's not reality. Which is, that's some blue pill fantasy shit. You can take your stupid ass to ChatGPT right now and type in what's the median income for Chicago. The median income is like 50 to 75. So if you're above the median income, you're also, that's the depth, you're not broke. So no, it's not broke. Nigga, you're essentially saying like 85% of black men are broke based on what you're saying and shouldn't be having children. So you're essentially saying the black race shouldn't exist. I don't have kids. Okay, nigga, it can be broke to you. But that's not, but it ain't about you. It's about what the numbers say. And that's what I'm talking about. Y'all live in y'all little bubbles and shit. It's broke to me. Nigga, the median income for white men is 50,000. So nigga, you're not in the reality of what it is. And at the end of the day, my nigga, you think a nigga gonna give a, the thing about it is, this nigga think he can shame a nigga out of getting some pussy. Nigga, you should be out here fucking, you ain't got enough money. Even though hoes are choosy. Yeah, I call them bitches and hoes. Cause that's how they acted. Man, you got these niggas that they like to troll and they like to argue shit, and I don't know where they come from. Cause nigga, I don't even title my videos, so I don't know where these niggas come from. I don't title my videos, so it's not like generally. So it's not like, you know, I'm out here saying modern women this and modern women that and black women this and shit black women that. I don't title my videos. I don't title my lives, tag my lives. Damn near not a lot of descriptions in my lives. So the algorithm shit don't have a lot. Only thing the algorithm has is Edward Anderson. So I don't be knowing how the motherfuckers be finding my shit now. Now he could have came here through my uploads. Yeah, like these black men don't look to have children. Most black men have oops kids. And you should know this if you in Chicago. You know that most black men are not intentionally having children. Especially niggas that ain't got no money. They are not out here talking about, I want to have a baby. Man, look, I already said it, nigga. You could Google the median income, and you could Google whatever. This nigga, basically, what this nigga really want to say is this nigga really want to say is, if you don't make $100,000 a year, you broke. And I wish your bitch ass would just stand on business and say that shit rather than trying to argue around it. I can't stand when niggas think they're so smart and they try to. I don't know why y'all try to sneak shit in here. Nigga, you're not smarter than me. Nigga, I have a background. I have a communications background. I've talked to over, nigga, I've talked to over 50,000. I've had over 50,000 conversations with people, nigga. Not to mention meetings and been overseas. Nigga, you niggas are not smarter than me. You ain't hurt, no. Now, nigga, I want you to understand something. I've had 50,000 interactions with people. I've done, that's on top of this YouTube shit. That's on top of my managerial experience and the shit that I've done there. That's on top of my stuff with working with people developing different internet shit. You niggas are not smarter. I don't know why you niggas think that you all can say shit in such a way that you think you're gonna slide that shit in here. You're not. Nigga, again, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Nigga, if we live by your rules, the world would end. Because nobody would be having children. Anyway, I gotta go get something. Y'all cook his ass in the chat while I'm getting something. But you're saying don't like the shit that you say is mathematically bullshit, but whatever. I'll be back. Nigga, that red pill is about the truth. That's what red pill is about. I don't know what fucking. Let me ask you this: who is the content creators you listen to, quote unquote, in the red pill space, quote unquote, red pill? Who are the content creators you listen to? Because basically, who are the content creators? Yeah, because you really about to get blocked. Because at the end of the day, you kind of bullshit and trolling. So who are the content creators? Who are the content creators you listen to? Because that shit's gonna tell me everything I need to know. Yeah, who are the content creators you listen to? Give me like 2 or 3 content creators you listen to. This quote unquote in this space. Nigga, ain't no way you listen to BGS because BGS will say you fucking stupid. Nigga, you listen to number one BGS and Man Tomorrow can't stand BGS. There's no way you listen to BGS and listen to Man of Tomorrow. No, it's not about disagreeing. No. You're not blocked because you disagree with me. You're being blocked because you're wasting my time. Essentially what you're doing, because like, dude, if you would have brought this shit on a panel, you know you sound stupid as fuck. And the reality is, I don't like dudes that like to time waste me. Like, nigga, if you told me 1 + 1 is 5, then you're essentially wasting my time. It's not about being blocked because I disagree with you. Nigga, I've literally, what you're saying is mathematically inaccurate. And then you're basically lying. You're saying, yeah, I'm red pill. But you're basically talking that blue pill beta, that blue pill, every self-improvement, niggas with fathers, you know, I didn't tell you act like, niggas are just raping chicks, just making chicks have children. And so you playing with me. That's why you're getting blocked. You can disagree, but you're not disagreeing, you're trolling. And you're just calling that disagreement. Nah, fuck all of that. I don't do that. You don't get to just, again, at the end of the day, it's not about agreement. You don't just get to come in here and say whatever the fuck you want to say. And then it don't matter if it's logical or not logical. You just gonna say it. Because if I let people do that, then they're just gonna be wasting my time. So no, there's a certain level of discernment that you have to be in my fucking chat. You can disagree, but you have not presented your arguments in such a way that is let me know, okay, he actually has a legit disagreement. No, you're just wasting time and trolling. That's what you doing. You listen and you're hiding behind that self-improvement bullshit. You really are saying, niggas that, like that's it's not even about that. It's not, at the end of the day, I've already given you like 3 different angles on why what you saying is bullshit. And you haven't even mathematically added it up. Dude, you pretty much low-key said 85% of black men are full of shit. Because, only like 15% of black men, and not even that much, make 6 figures. So you one of these, you want to wag your finger down, and you won't stand on that on an actual verbal panel. You do that in the chat. That's some cowardly shit. You won't actually come up here, actually do a video, or actually go live, talk about why black men, any black man that got a kid that make under 90,000 is broke and shouldn't have kids. You wouldn't do that. Because you scary as hell. I don't respect that. So no, you niggas nobody gets to just have unsubstantiated opinions because that's how they feel. I don't believe that. You have to back the fuck up what you're saying. And yeah, you're talking, you're typing, but like, nigga, you ain't back shit up. You just basically because I feel like it. Because this how I feel. I feel that anything under 90,000 is broke. I feel that 60,000 is broke. I feel. You won't take that bullshit to the real world because you'll get slapped up. I would dare your ass to take your dumb ass in a barber shop and say, I feel like if you make 60,000 and you got kids, you a broke ass nigga. You broke. Or just say it diplomatically. I feel that 60,000 ain't enough to raise a child. And watch motherfuckers talk shit to your ass. You won't stand on that. You won't stand on that. But you sitting here in my chat where it's safe to do that. When nobody knows who you are, sees you, can't hear your voice, don't red pill, and then call it red pill. Nigga, you need to change your name. You're not red pill. Red pill is about the truth above anything. And you can't even see the truth from your own bullshit. It's not about me disagreeing whether it's enough to have kids or not. It's about you basically, I've literally, you can go Google it. You're essentially saying if you're not in the top 20%, you can't have children. We wouldn't have children. We wouldn't have the world can't exist off of that statement. It can't. So you're the one not operating on reality. So you basically playing in the face. Yeah. And by the way, anyway, get the fuck out of here, man. Cause you nigga, you trolling. Nigga, your dumb ass would never get on a panel saying that stupid shit. You trolling. Nigga, like, and again, so the reason, so if niggas talk stupid, yeah, man, because they disagree. No, you not gonna be in here just trolling and then wasting my time. Just like how racists do that, it's time wasters. People that they exist to waste time. They get on these panels and they argue dumb shit to waste time. Cause you think you gonna burn shit out. So no, you gotta regulate niggas. You gotta identify, is this person actually making a point, or is this point just running his mouth? And if you just run, it's not about, oh man, you're in a cult if you don't agree. No, nigga. You do not get to say that I can fly and I can walk across the street and both and not look both ways and cars will just bounce off of me. You don't get to do that and then think I'm about to respect what the fuck you saying. And then just charge it up to, you don't agree. No, nigga, fuck you. Go come to Arts. Art New Style has got a panel tomorrow. You really believe that? Bring your ass on the Arts. But these niggas never want to show up, even though you're anonymous. They never want to show up. You know why? Because these niggas ain't serious for real. Nigga talking about, I listen to Man of Tomorrow. Man of Tomorrow would say you stupid for saying that. Everybody you said you listened to would say you dumb. Yeah, because the thing about it is niggas always want to be like, that's that victim shit. Oh, you're in a cult. Nigga, there's like, nigga, you the one that's got red pill in your fucking name. I don't. You coming in here, you ain't coming in here with no real dialogue. You coming in here with a bullshit ass agenda. Niggas just want to come in here, say whatever, and then think they supposed to be protected. Nah, nigga, this goes both ways. I make the content. Like, what the fuck you talking? I don't consume this content all the time. And but you don't consume the content all the time, but your name is Red Pill. I don't take talking points. Why do you talk like that, LOL? getting like, oh, you getting blocked because I disagree. No, you getting blocked because you time wasting. I've had conversations with women back and forth for a long time. I ain't got no problem if you actually saying something, if you actually asking legit questions. Nigga, your shit has been proven false. Nigga, anybody that makes under 90,000 and 60 is definitely broke. Nigga, that's factually not true. You shouldn't be having kids. Okay, you can have that opinion. How you gonna enforce it though? This is what red pill is. Nigga, nigga, whatever, man. You're wasting my time. If you want, I have no problem engaging. I engaged with him longer than I should have. But the problem is you're wasting my time. And you want to be on this double, triple down shit. And it's like, I'm not arguing with you, dude. No, you don't have a right to be in my chat. I've been banned. Niggas banned me because they didn't want to, they were too scared to have a, I got banned for saying, a women that have more sexual part, the more sexual partners a woman has, the harder it is for her to bond. I got banned for that shit. So people, I didn't have a right to be in there. Now that nigga's gonna regret doing that shit. But it is what it is. And they from Chicago too. I told you, them people in my city think like that. Nah, man, please. That nigga ain't living in reality. It don't matter what you live in. There's no reality where if you make it, you broke unless you make over 90,000. There's no reality because the society can't function off of that. Yeah, red pill. I mean, and yeah, so I'm not gonna let you just waste my time endlessly. So no, it's not about blocking. It's not about blocking people because they disagree. I have no problem with disagreement. But what you're not gonna do is waste my time. You're not gonna waste my time. I'm not out here to endlessly arguing niggas. I don't need you to believe me. So I don't niggas be like, oh, please believe me. I don't need you to believe me. It is what it is. But niggas never get on because they don't want to sound stupid. And here's another thing. Niggas know that if you say something on a panel, that could be recorded. So niggas don't be really standing on that shit. They just be on some, But anyway, I gotta go. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate the sponsor. Like I said, we'll be doing a stream soon enough. And with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.